Origin PC family, happy Tuesday. We have a special stream coming for you today. My name is Adam. I am the partnerships coordinator and streamer for Origin PC. We got PJ behind the camera as well over there at the headquarters building the wonderful PC. Hello, PJ. Say hello to the people. And then without further ado, the man of the hour, we also have a special guest, King George, joining us. King George, how you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to have you.
No, none of that. Just not a real king. Not a real king. I actually joked around. Yeah. I was actually joking around. It's kind of funny. So like the royal family and stuff like that, I have King George verified on all my social media platforms. I'm like, that's my retirement plan. If he's ever king, I'll trade them. They want my verified Twitter account. Yeah, I'll take Buckingham Palace. It's a good trade, I feel. Yeah.
Okay, we see you in chat. We cannot hear PJ on stream. We can hear PJ for comms between us at the moment. We'll get that resolved. But as I mentioned, we're doing a really special live build today. We are unveiling, and PJ is building one of our very brand new RTSs ready to ship, King George themed. We have King George's signature on there. Is this one of the first times your signature is ever going on a PC? Could you say?
I think it is the first time. Yeah, it is, seriously.
So this is a pretty cool occasion. He's having his first time signature on a PC. PJ is showing. Yep, PJ is showing the custom UV print on stream. We see you in chat, Kawasabi, Zemo. I see Origin PC CEO. I don't know if we can hear PJ on stream yet. If we can get a confirmation there, eventually we will. But, I hear the plastic is coming off. I think PJ is showing there's the signature right there next to the King George logo.
That looks awesome.
Looking super crispy. PJ, yes, we have.
I like the little crown.
PJ.
The little crown.
Super. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, so we got a little preview peel. So PJ, how are you feeling about this build today?
This is these RTS systems, specifically these 4000s. I'm very comfortable building. I see myself, nothing personal, but knocking this out really fast.
Really fast? We like fast. We do like fast. All right, so we'll get into the questions with King George because we know he has the man of the hour. So,
thanks for having me again.
How long have you been now working with Corsair? How has your experience been there?
Oh yeah, it's been awesome. They were actually my first sponsor, actually first full-time sponsor that I had, and it's been what now 4 years, I think. So it's been quite a while, and for hopefully many more years. So I love working with them. I love their stuff. When I played professionally, I always was rocking a Corsair K70. I have the K100 now. I would never change, but the K100 with the optical switches is so.
So you mentioned that is something I'm curious to know as well. So you mentioned your previous professional career. How has it been adjusting from playing professionally? I'm sure there was a lot of training, a lot of practice that went into it. And how does that compare to your content creation and that different world?
It's a lot less stressful. Okay. I guess when you're doing content creation and stuff, at least for me, it's just get on, hang out with chat, play, and then normally I stream enough hours where there's just content happens more or less. So it's really easy to make stuff for other platforms, and it's very easy. Honestly, I feel really lucky every day just to be able to stream and play a game that I like, and have that be my job. That's awesome. So obviously I like playing professionally a lot too. It's just there's a lot of stress with it. A lot. There's a lot of pressure to perform and stuff like that. And it's just I always want to do the best that I can for whatever I'm doing. So I put all this extra stress and pressure on myself, which is content creation's a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, no, I understand that completely. So what I'm hearing is there's no bone in your body that misses playing professionally or the urge to go back, or would that ever be a possibility if it ever presented itself again?
I don't think so. Probably not. Like, I mean, I guess never say never, but
Right.
probably not. So.
And what was the first game that you officially started playing professionally?
Rainbow Six. Yeah, it was the only game I ever played
always,
professionally. I did play like more for fun, but I played competitive Counter Strike and Call of Duty. Like pretty much every game I ever played, I was like never like thinking I was going to play pro, including Siege for that matter. Just kind of happened, and but yeah, I was always like pretty proficient and good at whatever like FPS specifically that I played. Because that's been my favorite genre of game, and yeah, it just kind of worked out for Siege oddly.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that and an outstanding career, and also now transitioning it over to the content creation as well. I'm sure it's an amazing thing to do to be able to translate that. But I'm also we're a PC company, so we're gonna dive into your experience with PCs going back to your first. Do you remember what your first ever PC was? Do you remember the first ever build that you had? And did you build it yourself or was it pre-built?
Well, okay, so my very, 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 very first PC that I ever had was many years. I don't even think they're in business anymore. I got my family's old Gateway computer. I don't know if you remember Gateway.
I do remember. Wow.
I think it had like a Pentium like 2 or something inside of it or whatever. And I got some like really terrible graphics card, or maybe it was a Pentium 3, like from Best Buy, and I got like 30 FPS in like Counter Strike at the time. And that was my first computer. So like that was my very, very, very first computer. I still remember that.
That was a laptop or that's a desktop considered?
A desktop. Yeah. It was like funny enough, it's still running. It's still running at my my grandparents' house. I think they just keep it on. Honestly,
they don't turn it off.
No, it's like that computer's like 20 years old and it's still kicking. So I think they just play. I think my grandma just plays solitaire on it. I think that's the only thing.
It's perfect. It is perfectly equipped to play solitaire. So
yeah, I think it's running 95. Actually,
wow.
I'm pretty sure it's like it is old.
Windows 95. Yeah, I personally think my first laptop. I'm gonna sound young here. I think I'm 24 now. When I was 10 or 11, I think my parents' first laptop that they bought me was a Gateway, like a red Gateway laptop. And as soon as I bought it, I think like within a year or two later, it was like extinct and like you couldn't even get tech support for it. So it didn't go so well. But I loved that laptop. But then that's interesting. So that was your first desktop. Okay. What about, so you didn't build that one. Have you ever personally built your own PCs? How has that experience been? Do you enjoy it? How is that?
I have actually built a bunch of PCs over the years. I still remember my first PC that I actually ever built too. So I know you're asking that as well. So I had I don't know if you remember the first i7s, but I'm sure you remember that, like the i7 920. So I had that, and I had I basically won like the Silicon Lottery on that. I think I got like 4.3 or 2 gigahertz out of it, and I actually had a Corsair liquid water cooler on it, so I had a Corsair H100i on it. That was the first iteration of it, and yeah. So I think at the time it was like 16 gigs of RAM. I had Corsair Dominator RAM back then too. I've always just loved all their stuff. It's just like high quality, like great stuff. So I had that. I had the Blackout. Oh, I forgot what the case is called. I actually still think I have the box for it somewhere. I might have to dig that out. But it was like this. I think so. It was something like that. It's like the clean, like matte black case. There's no light on it, which I actually liked at the time.
Unfortunately, this one's gonna light up like a Christmas tree.
Oh well, now it's different. See, now I have like an actual streaming space, but back then it was in my bedroom. So if I ever like left it on overnight for whatever reason, because my internet was really slow and I was trying to download a game or something, it's like you don't want like a Christmas tree lighting up in the corner when you're trying to sleep. But so I was like, okay, this is perfect. It's clean,
that's true.
No lights.
That's true.
But let's see what else, and then I think it was, what was it, the first NVIDIA graphics cards that were a little better. They're like the 2060s, and I remember I decided to go SLI, which is a horrible mistake, instead of just buying like a 2080. Even back then, SLI is like nice and everything, but
There's
I
not that
feel like
many
there's
games
so
that
many
support
games
it.
yeah, there's so many games that don't support it, which sucks because it's actually like a great technology. Like, I mean, you're able to basically take a couple of graphics cards and double your power, hypothetically, of course, right?
Right.
I
But in
remember working on
practice,
the. I'm sorry, to interrupt.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, working on the assembly line when I started here at Origin, some of the customer requests for quad GTX setups with an SL all set up in SLI, and I'm like, what are you gonna use this for? It's when the guys here started like to, to school me a little bit and tell me, like some of these builds that we do are just overkill, and that's what the customer wants, what the customer gets, and that's when I learned that not every game is gonna support SLI, so sometimes they're like, it's pointless, just get one really good card, or even two, just two and put in that two in an SLI and you're fine. But 4 was just overkill.
There's certain games that take advantage of it, and when they do, I think doesn't Microsoft Flight Simulator take advantage of it, if I'm not mistaken?
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
But since the 30 series is the only one that you can actually SLI right now, which they don't even call it SLI, they call it MV Link. Still, what would you need to play Flight Simulator with dual 3090s?
I guess if you have like a really, really big monitor or like multiple monitors all next to each other to power each one in 4K in a flight simulator, could be if you want the best of the best, I guess.
I could see somebody with a full sim setup at their house.
Mm-hmm. That'd be sweet. Those so I don't personally have one, but I've seen the people that got a wall of monitors essentially, so that they can have it's like a flight wall or a driving wall.
It looks like the flight control tower.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, I do see the comments in the chat. We are fixing the audio. We have people behind the scenes. This is a good second for me to mention the custom King George landing page that we had created. If you guys have not had to check it to check it out, I think our MooBot posted it just there. It might be coming up on stream now. If we have a second, we might have a preview for it scrolling through. We're going to be working on the audio in the background. Time Machine just posted it in the description. Nope, not a YouTube video. In the chat, we're live on Twitch, not on a YouTube video. I do see your comments. We're working on the issues we have. Please bear with us. The beauty of doing things live, I say this I think every live stream, the beauty of doing things live is everything can be great up to the minute of a stream, and then as soon as you hit that go live button, the audio can just say, yeah, I don't want to work anymore. So please bear with us. We are doing our best to fix it. But please feel free to check out the landing page. It has everything you need to know on there. It has a biography about King George. It has the actual build itself, and you can also purchase one of these PCs. We have this one being built by PJ, which is really cool because if you're lucky, you do have the opportunity to get this one from PJ himself. We do have others that are already constructed, but we did want to do one of these live on stream for you guys to be able to see it, to share it with his community, and for you guys to get your hands on it. Feel free to check out that landing page right there.
Can anybody? Am I having an issue with? Am I having the issue with the mic, or can people hear me?
I see in the chat. It sounds like audio is being duplicated, like it's coming through two channels at the same time.
Yes.
I have heard that yours sounds fine, but are you thinking? PJ is good. It may be some.
You sound doubled up. Yes. Well, if you anything, while he's working on the,
I can mute
on the audio. What I can do is I can just go over the specs so everybody knows what the system is gonna have. The system is a Corsair 4000D airflow system. It's gonna have a MSI Pro C690 Wi-Fi motherboard. I'm already taking it out. I have the box I can show you. The system is also gonna have an Intel i9 12900K. We're gonna be putting an OPC approved NVMe M.2 1 terabyte in there for the operating system drive. We're also going to be putting a 1 terabyte Samsung 870 QVO SSD for storage. The system will also have an RM750X power supply in white We're also going to be putting 6 Corsair LL120 fans in the system. We will also be putting, what else we got here? We have the Corsair H100i Elite. So this one's going to have the OLED screen on it that everybody likes. It's pretty bad. I really like that. What else we got here? Oh, we have the PNY Ventus RTX 3080 going in here. And I think that's pretty much it. Along with the signature custom prints, this is a pretty straightforward system. And this thing's it's gonna be a little beast, you know. So anybody who purchased one of these things, I promise you, you're gonna be really happy with this. This thing will last you a couple, you know, many good years of gaming.
Oh, also, by the way, too, side note for anyone watching, if I'm not mistaken, oh nice. I think if I'm not mistaken, that particular CPU is the best performing CPU for Siege. I think.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting information. I personally have never played Siege because I've been told the community is very toxic. So I have stuck away from Siege. I also need to get better at mouse and keyboard, which the Origin PC team makes sure to make fun of me for because I am not good at mouse and keyboard myself. So I need to get an aim lab, I think, and work on my mouse and keyboard skills.
Mm-hmm. Aim lab can help out.
AimLab can help out. He said PNY while showing an MSI card. I do not. Did you say PNY?
MSI, my bad. I'm sorry. It's an MSI card. That was my fault.
Like I said, we're doing it live, chat. We're doing it live. Everything is live.
People make mistakes.
We do make mistakes. I'm just making sure in chat to see there's anything I can see in regards to our audio. Nothing. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I think we're coming through as doubled up. Not sure why it's coming through as doubled up, but we're working on it. Please bear with us. Apparently my mic is the one causing the issues. Love that, of course. All right. So PJ.
Yes, sir.
Do you play Rainbow Six Siege?
Excuse me?
Have you ever played Siege?
Very, very long time ago. I'm never really good into, you know, first-person shooters or like anything in reference to Call of Duty. I mostly, I like playing like game styles like GTA or mostly focused like on racing games. Or 2-player side scrolls. I like old school side scroll games. I just started playing Dead Cells again, so I'm enjoying that.
Nice.
Yeah, Dead Cells is so much fun, dude. It reminds me of like a Super Nintendo game on steroids.
Honestly, a lot of those games too. It's like Siege, by the way, too. It is the community can be toxic, but overall, it's like any other game. You play League, you play Counter-Strike, you play Valorant. Any game that has like a competitive scene,
everybody's toxic.
Like a lot of the community, everyone's toxic. They're all
for real, dude. Doesn't matter where you go. So you gotta have somebody, you know, just doing unfortunate stuff.
Yeah. Overall, it's not too bad, like all things considered. So, yeah, if you wanted to play, hey, it is pretty fun. But a lot of those games too, like you were saying, like the side scrollers. There's honestly so many single player games, indie games, racing games that are just like, it is nice when you just want to like unwind, like relax and like play a game. Like just being able to play something you can kick back and chill with.
Yeah, another one
about someone screaming at you.
The one that I'm enjoying right now that I just started playing, I bought it like 2 weeks ago, is Trover Saves the Universe.
I'll check it out.
That is a hilarious game. Not only am I enjoying it, I'm dying laughing between cutscenes. Let's turn this.
I've been playing around with my audio here.
Yeah, you come
in
clear.
Sound? I think I figured it out. Do I sound better?
Yes.
You sound good to me. So.
You don't sound double up anymore.
Do I sound the same? Do I sound better? Yeah, I figured it out. All right, so my communications was on default mic in Elgato Wave 3. I had to change it to communications mic in Elgato Wave 3. Figured it out. Like I said, technology, that is not something I would have known prior, but we figured it out. Thank you for everyone's patience. We figured it out. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. All right. Now that that is settled, do I still have to do any? Do I need to mute? We sound good. Not doubled up anymore.
Nope.
I think you sound good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hollow Knight is a great game.
Which game? Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight, yeah. Polygon Princess was saying Hollow Knight is the OG side-scroller indie. Great game.
I've never played Hollow Knight personally myself. I'm exposing myself here for the lack of game knowledge I have. Not lack of game knowledge. Lack of experience I have in these the games. PJ is a big racing sim guy. I personally come from the sports ball community. Big sports guy myself.
So that's 2K? That's my new 2K. Yes. Have you been playing? Okay.
Yes, that's where I returned to 2K. So actually, that's where I personally did all of my content prior to getting my job with Origin PC and still do it myself. Made a return to 2K23 with its release. Been enjoying it so far. It's actually a pretty good game, which is I'm astonished so far. We'll see how it lasts.
I have a few people that watch my stream. They play Rainbow Six mostly, but I don't know why they've been driving me crazy to play 2K. And I'm like, dude, I have like the last time I played like a basketball game was probably like
NBA Live or something.
2005. Like
it wasn't even 2K. It was NBA Live or something.
Yeah, probably. I'm like, it would be bad. You don't even know. You do not want to see that.
Hey,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, hey, I mean, Dr. Disrespect is in the game now.
There's actually, it's kind of funny. I played, I think it was like MLB The Show one time on stream, and that was horrible. Like, honestly, it made good content because I was actually so bad. Like that, I just like. It was incredible to watch someone that was like so incompetent at playing a game. But yeah, that was rough, and I'm assuming 2K would probably be similar. I did play like a lot of the old NHL games though. That was actually I like hockey a lot. I played when I was a kid.
I'm a big hockey guy myself. Soccer is my favorite sport, but I'm a big I play NHL. I've been playing NHL since NHL 10, so NHL's a fun game to play. I mean, in terms of MLB The Show. MLB The Show is definitely a tough game. Last year was the first year I played it, other than on the PSP, back on the PSP days. That game takes a while to like
doubling up again.
Not just swing at everything that's being thrown at you like a hot just screw it, just swing. But NBA 2K. You know.
Can't really do that. Oh, I think we lost you. I think you're muted.
I think you started doubling up.
Yeah. I actually still remember too. I used to play like it was NHL 2005, I think, with my uncle all the time. Mm-hmm. And there was like a one-timer bug in that game, and I still remember basically if you hit a one-timer from like I think it was like the top of like I think it was like right at like the red line or something like that, or like right above like the circle on the right, you would score a goal like every time, like every single time. So we'd be playing and it'd be like 30-20, like things like that. Like there'd be like 50 goals in the game. Of hockey.
I think what gave me my distaste in playing like sports games was always playing against my big brother. If I'll give my age away just by telling how like first playing him with like Tecmo Bowl. He would always be the guy to pick the Raiders. If you know Tecmo Bowl, you know that the Raiders is like an unstoppable team playing that game. And then switching over to like jumping on on the Genesis playing Joe Madden. And all those were like my introduction to playing the sports, but I stopped playing because he would just annihilate me every single time we would play. I was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. But then it come to racing games, he couldn't even keep up with me. So there was always an advantage on we always had an upper hand on something.
Yeah, you gotta have your niche to beat them. So that was actually like one of the reasons too. Like I still remember playing with like my uncle and like my dad and one of my cousins actually loved like the old basketball games, and I used to get smoked. And I was like, my one thing that I had going, I was like, I have GoldenEye. Like that's it.
Speaking of, did you hear that they're gonna put GoldenEye out now for the PC and Switch? They just announced that today.
Did they really?
Yeah, IGN.com posted it saying that they don't know when, but it's going to be coming out very soon. It says GoldenEye 007 is coming to Nintendo Switch and Xbox. It'll be on Game Pass, included 4K support, better frame rates, and split-screen local player. So finally they're bringing local player back to to a single console.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to play
Did you ever play? There was a mod for GoldenEye actually. It was like GoldenEye Source. Did you ever play that?
No, I never played that, but I did. I think if I'm not mistaken, I have seen it on YouTube, and people have. It looks gorgeous. It looks unreal.
Oh, it's like really cool. They basically recreated the whole game in like the Source engine, which was like amazing. I was like, I played it and it was like it felt kind of like a Counter-Strike GoldenEye like mix, but it was cool. They recreated all the maps, all the guns. So yeah, you could still get like smoked on the clob. You know, the worst gun of all time in any video game.
My problem was every time I would start playing, I immediately went to source the golden gun.
I'm not gonna lie. I was the scummy person who just played Ob Job. I figured out the meta. I have that. You got to use the hat. You're shorter. People have to aim down you.
That's it. You're unstoppable.
Exactly. Early BM.
Those were the awesome days, dude. So simple, man. Just put the cartridge in and power it on and have some fun.
Yep.
And now you got these things.
Yeah. Hey, better now, definitely. I will.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that I missed, though, is I was actually talking about this. So I was playing, I don't know if you guys have played that like new VR game, Super People, yet.
No.
So I was playing it like one of the first days that it came out and stuff like that. I'm like, this is like, I was like, please, like when I was playing it, I was like telling everybody in chat, I was like, if you're going to play this game, play it now. I was like, as of this moment, no one knows what they're doing. I was like, this is a beautiful time in a game's like life cycle, because what happens is as soon as a game comes out, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the competitive side of games and stuff too. I play the same game every day for 15,000 hours and try to get as high of a rank as possible, etc. But like, there's a special time in a game's life cycle, even Rainbow Six, any game that comes out. It's like the first like few weeks that it's out, it hasn't been like metafied yet. Like there's no YouTube tutorials really, except for like maybe people are just kind of guessing what they're doing and stuff. And it's a really beautiful time in a game's life cycle. You can just play the game and like no one knows what they're doing. Everyone's learning. Like it's like the pre-internet era pretty much of video games.
I dig that. I never really looked at it that way, because usually I go into a game and it feels like the second I start playing a new game, well, to me, it feels like everybody else who are playing, even if the game came out like that same day, within a few hours I go and purchase the game and come home to play, it feels like everybody's already been playing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do that? Like, this is ridiculous.
It is.
But all good.
It's actually funny. It's actually funny you say that, because this is, I'm hoping that I sound better here, because I just messed around with my settings. So hopefully I'm not doubling up anymore.
No.
Kind of relating back to 2K. That's kind of how it is always when the game first releases. Like it released last week, so this first week of the game, it's just like nobody knows what they're doing. There's no meta builds on videos yet on YouTube. Then a week later, it's just like boom, meta hits, and it's just the game is completely different after that. And I think that's a lot of, I mean, content has a part to play in that, because people look for YouTube obviously now to kind of be like, oh, what's the best? They want to be the best. So I understand it from both perspectives, which is why there are metas to begin with, like especially in Warzone. People see a gun build, a gun loadout, and they're like, all right, I'm building it, So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like once a game gets like competitive and stuff too. I always like having like a challenge and stuff like that. Or if I just want to relax, I'll play like a single player game. But I do think it is. I'm just saying, it's like a special time in a game's life cycle where it's like you play the game and no one knows what's going on for at least like a small period of time, and it's like
correct.
I always like cherish that time for a little bit.
For sure, I agree. Agree 100%. It's like when you start growing with the game and getting better at it, everyone's growing with you, so you don't feel like you're at a disadvantage. It's like you start progressing, and seeing more challenges as they come along, and you're like, oh, I can tolerate it because anybody I'm playing up against is still at my level. Now it just matters of who's going to get better.
Valorant was like that for 3 hours. Yeah, that was about right. Well, I feel like Valorant was like a little bit different too, because like Valorant was, the one thing about Valorant is like it was kind of like a lot of people came from Counter-Strike to play it, which if you people who played Counter-Strike and then went and played Valorant, it's like kind of similar in a lot of ways. So I think that's why Valorant got like metafied, I guess, like quickly.
Yeah. I actually, Valorant is one of the games that I don't think this was the best game to try learning mouse and keyboard on. Yeah, I think about 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, I started playing Valorant, it started off really well, and then just it started off well. It didn't go past that, but I don't know. I enjoy it. It's a different as a gamer. I think it's a different type of gaming, because in controller you're so used to just being like this. It caused so much focus and attention to detail that you're not used to, I would say, with a controller in your hand, because I think like those micro millimeters of a difference on PC is so different than when you have a controller in your hands.
Oh yeah. Well, if you get obviously too, I don't know how you've like adjusted your sensitivity and stuff like that, but like lower sense is better, bigger mouse pad is better. So like actually like Corsair has like it's like the MM500. It's 4 feet by 2 feet. It's crazy. It's like your whole desk pretty much, and it's like you have unlimited space. You can lower your sensitivity a lot, and then if you have a wired mouse, I'm not sure what mouse you have, but if you have a wired mouse bungee is important, and then or you can get one of these guys. This is the FPS mouse that Corsair has. So Saber RGB Pro wireless.
I was gonna say we're not gonna talk about which mouse I have because we don't want to talk about that. I do need to get a new mouse though. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about which mouse I have. But I do have a wired one, because I've heard that wired is definitely better for PC gaming. If I heard correctly.
If you get wireless, no, there's like it depends what kind of mouse you get. So if you get like like the Saber RGB Pro wireless that like Corsair has, this thing is like there's zero latency. It has like I only charge it like once a week, pretty much. There's no delay. I have the wired version and the wireless version. I've used them both for like I used the wired one because it came out first for like 6 months or so. If you use it in a mouse bungee, it's not too bad because it kind of like floats the cord. But if you and then when you have wireless, it's obviously better. I always prefer wireless for at least for headset and for mouse. Everything else could be wired. It's fine, but it's like no difference that I can notice at all whatsoever. The one downside is for this mouse specifically. So there's normally there's like the polling rate of the mouse, which is like the amount of times it refreshes. The wireless version goes up to has a 2,000 polling rate, which is still excellent. It's like double. Most mice have 1,000 polling rate, like max. It's very rare that they have above that. So this one wirelessly has a 2,000 polling rate, which is awesome. But the wired one is an 8,000 polling rate. So which is like insane. I don't think I'm sure there's other mice that probably have it too, but it's like this is the best mouse I've ever used in my life.
This is very good information for me to know.
Yeah, pick one up for sure.
Picking one up for sure. And speaking of picking one up, I think we're also going to be making sure people want to pick up this new RTS. We're gonna ping over to the landing page. I think we have it ready to display on stream. It should be coming up. If you guys have not checked out the landing page, if you guys are new and just joining us, the theme of today's stream is we're doing a live build. PJ is over there behind the camera doing his favorite part, wiring the PC. He pays attention to detail on his wiring on every PC he does. But we got the landing page up here on stream, which is showing you everything we have about King George on this amazing opportunity. We are doing a limited run of these custom branded with a signature of King George on the PC. This landing page shows the specs. You see the specs coming up on stream here of the entire build. You can also see the UV print and the signature there on the front. That's amazing preview to be able to see. Please feel free to check out the link. Go ahead, PJ. Feel free to check out the link.
How many of these are when you speak limited run? How many will be built of these? Everybody knows how limited this actually is.
There will be, I believe, 10 in the first run, and pending how it does, if there is feedback even from King George's community that they want more, we can do another run. We can do as many runs as we want, but I believe the first run is a limited of 10.
Nice.
Get it.
I spilled water all over myself.
Hey, better than coffee or juice or something like that.
That is very true. That is and it's keeping it nice and cold. So I got it's a little hot in my room currently. So it gave me a nice little shower to cool me down.
Liquid cooling.
Mm-hmm. Right. We do liquid cooling here at Origin. Liquid cooling for humans.
Yes.
please do not drink your liquid cooling.
Or put it under an air conditioning.
Or put it under an air conditioner. That is another one. What's a website on PCs to know what specs are on the PC? Ramirez, if you check out that landing page, saw that comment on the Twitch chat. If you check out the landing page, we see Mnemonic Syntax in the stream with the 39-month sub. I realize whenever I do the Origin PC streams, I usually never call out subs and stuff like that. So Syntax, we love you. OPC fan, thank you for the sub.
He's also one
if you check out that landing page, also one of our moderators. We all have Evo Mercenary in the chat, another longtime viewer and supporter and Origin PC family member. But yes, if you check out that landing page right there that the Moobot just posted, it has the entire list of specs, everything you need to know, King George. And also, this is currently live. His RTS series is live. You are able to go and purchase these now as we speak. These went live yesterday. So if you do want to get your hands on one of these limited edition King George PCs, feel free to check out that landing page and you can go and purchase one for yourself.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you purchase one of these things, there's only a 1 to 2 leeway before it ships out. These systems are already built and ready to go. There's no waiting for them to be spec'd out and then built and assembled. These are already sitting in a crate waiting for you to purchase it so they can slap a label on it and get it out to you as soon as possible.
Yep, that is correct. I have confirmation on that. I spoke with the team. These are all already built, aside from the one that we are currently building on stream. So if you do build this, this could be at your door probably end of this week, maybe early next week.
If you want to expedite it, you can have it tomorrow. It's all how fast you want your system.
This is all very, very true. Making sure nothing coming up in the chat here. Any questions for myself or King George itself? What is the most expensive PC you guys have ever built?
It was.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
For me, it was that damn Big O. That was the most expensive system I've ever built. I can't put a price tag on that system because every single time everybody asks how much was it or how much would you sell it for. Everybody doesn't take controller. Nobody takes into any consideration the actual labor that it took to build that system. Everybody just looks at the parts. Oh, this is how much it is. Oh, I can build that. Hey, I encourage you to try and build one of those. I'm more than happy to see anybody's rendition of it. But you can't put a price. You just can't put a price tag on how much it cost to actually build, or how much labor it actually went. It was super labor intensive. All the research that went into it, all the testing, all the failures. There was a lot of failures into that system. It wasn't just one and done.
And we have some video coming up right now of the unbox therapy video itself. Of the amazing Big O that PJ, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was a little more than half a year it took you to construct.
About half a year, yeah. It's a lot of testing. There was a lot of testing. You got to also remember at the time that we were building it, COVID had hit, and then Microsoft and Sony had launched their consoles, and you couldn't even get your hands on one. So imagine having 6 people sitting in the marketing department on all different websites that would sell these consoles, just repeatedly trying to purchase it over and over again, sitting hours on end in front of their desk trying to buy these things. And then once we bought one, I was like, fantastic. Now buy another one. And they were like, why? I said, because chances are I'm gonna pop this one, because I don't know what's gonna happen once we start working on these things. So, and it was just like the first one. Like when I built the first one in 2019, it was the same thing. It was a great experience, but yeah, it had there was a lot of trials and tribulations with that one too. Weeks on end, I'm just testing it.
I'm going to go ahead and answer this question for PJ to save him because I think he's been asked this question many times. We are not ever, kind of what King George said before, never say never. We do not have any plans at this time to sell the Big O, reason being because these units are usually one of one, and as PJ just mentioned, it took him months and months of trials and tribulations to make sure that thing was perfect to a T to be able to be sent for review. So at this current time, we do not have any plans to sell the Big O, but as King George said, never say never.
This is why I'm bald. I pulled all my hair out of my head working on that thing. But it was a labor of love, man. At the end of the day, out of all the stress and everything that came out of that thing, once that stream went live and we were able to actually see it, I was just like the first one, just you get goosebumps watching it. And my first reaction is, what is everybody going to think of it? So I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. So that's what I learned in the first rendition, because a lot of people were praising it. Others were, why did you build it in this console? The next gen consoles are coming out soon. So it wasn't just me. It was, you had faculty and you had the execs in the back saying, oh, they want a new one with the new consoles. Are you down to do it? And I was like, heck yeah, because if everybody's expecting, if everybody's like, oh, why didn't you do this one? All right, cool. We're going to give it to you. You want to see it? This is what it's going to look like. And it came out so awesome.
I think honestly that's insane. I still remember when you guys did it. It went like viral all over too. That was like nuts.
Yeah, when the first one came out, it was it ended up being, what was it, number 8 or number 9 trending on YouTube that first week.
It's awesome.
So it would, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. I was like still in shock when I saw it.
Absolutely gorgeous.
I forward the question to you, KG. Do you know? It doesn't have to be the most expensive because we don't want to dox you here. But do you know the most challenge? How many people? Well, first we'll start with how many PCs have you personally built? If you could put a number on it, if you know.
Okay, probably honestly a good amount. Probably like 50, because I was always the person I was always not for myself personally, but I was always the person where it was like, oh, like I could like George built his computer, so we'll get him to do it like for free, like all of my friends and stuff like that, like friends.
That's kind of cool though, you know, because you have this experience that most other people don't. You know, they're all about playing the game, but the second you're like, oh man, did you get this new hardware that you set up in your PC? I already did it. And they're like, I don't even want to begin to even go into my computer and start messing with things. So the fact that you're just like, hey, you know, I'll do it myself. That says a lot. For me, it does.
No, thanks, man.
For sure, dude.
I mean, I built like a bunch of PCs and stuff. My wire management or cable management, I will say, is nowhere near yours. Not even close. It's kind of like, see if I could just jam all the wires in the back and like just get the back of the cable.
No, where's the camera at? No, no. I tell everybody the back of the case is just as important as the front. You want to have as much. You want to maximize as much airflow and clean spaces as you want. You know, and besides, if you're going to invest this much money in something like this, you want it to look good. You know, it's like you going to buy a brand new car. You bought a brand new car. Let's say you bought a brand new Tesla, and you go in the Tesla. You're going to see wires hanging out from under the dashboard. I don't know.
Exactly.
No, right? Exactly. So, when you invest that much money in something, you want it to be as clean and perfect as possible. I wouldn't want anybody just throwing the cables up in the back of the system and then assuming I would be happy with it.
Oh yeah, that's why I said, like, you guys. We'll just put it this way. Even though I've built like 50 PCs on my own, like getting the Origin PC that I have compared to the PCs that I've built, even with all the experience that I have and stuff like that, it doesn't even compare. Like it.
I built that
level
one.
of like.
I built your first one for you. I don't remember. When was that? Was that during 2020 or was that before, like 2019?
I think it was like 20, maybe like early 2021. I think. Maybe.
Yeah. So it was like right during the pandemic.
Yep. And it was. I still have it. It has a 3080 Ti in it. I think. Was it 5950X?
Oh, it's a little monster, dude.
Yeah, no, it's a great PC. I would get like 400 FPS on like 1440p max settings on Siege, which is that's like the dream come true. That's the dream come true. Before I was playing on like lower settings, and I was playing on 1080, and I was getting I think like 300, which higher FPS frames win games, you know. So
frames do win games. I'm sure NVIDIA was very happy with that messaging right there. Good plug for NVIDIA. PJ, this is a good question for you and King George. You guys have more experience in building PCs. I'm gonna out myself here, and PJ knows this. I've only built one PC in my lifetime, and it is the PC that I'm currently on at the moment.
I wouldn't call it a build, but okay, if that's what you want to call it, okay, I guess.
PJ has looked at my build firsthand because one day I was streaming on my personal channel. And
I cleaned it up, so to be fair,
my PC bricked midstream, and I called him. We make fun. I bring this up every now and then. I called him freaking out at 12:30 in the morning on a work day. I'm outing myself here on a work day, and he goes, "Can this wait till tomorrow?" And I was like, "I guess." And he goes, "Bring it into work tomorrow." And I took my PC and plugged it from my desk, brought it to the headquarters, and he took a look at it and goes, Yeah, I go, what would you rate my build on from a scale of 1 to 10? He goes 3. I was like,
you're like, I was expecting to get 2 or a 1. That's pretty good.
I was like,
I could have just went, it's just not even said anything. That would have been like a 0.0.
Yes. I would rate an electrical fire out of 10.
Yeah, it turned on. That's all that matters. Yeah. It works, it gets the job done. Yeah. So do you guys ever get anxiety when building, specifically when installing the CPU?
Never.
No, I honestly don't. Yeah, I got to mess that up. So there was a broken computer from a family member, like a family friend, and I got to experiment and destroy that computer, which was like a 10-year-old computer when I was a kid.
They're always the best, man.
Very old.
It's the only way you're gonna learn, man. Like I'm gonna break. Chances are I'm gonna break this thing, but I'm gonna learn something.
Yeah, exactly. So it turned on, but like it was like they didn't want it anymore. They just wanted all the hard drive wipes. So I just debanned the hard drive, and then after that, they're like, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm like, okay, it's too old, so it's not like worth anything. I'm just gonna play around with it and like learn how computers work. And that's kind of like the first computer I was messing around with.
I learned how to build my first PC here at Origin. Like I was always around I was around my uncle. Like growing up as a kid, he was always into PCs, but it was more. He never showed me how to build them. He just always had this huge arsenal of games. Every time I would go to his house, he had buddies that would just help him download games. The first time I ever played Quake was at his house. Oh, and this is awesome. I had to have been like 14, 15 when he had that, it was unreal. So, but the first time I actually learned to build the PC was when I started working here at Origin. Which is surprising to most people.
That's the first time I've heard that as well. I've never even. I didn't
know how to build a PC for anything. I knew what was what, but you know what the most complicated thing was for me building? No, I worked in the shipping department. The most complicated thing for me to learn was when I first started building was where in the heck do all of the power reset pins go?
I knew you were going to say that too.
So what I started doing is my boss at the time, he would just get a piece of cardboard and he'd put out the 4 dots on the top and then the 5 at the bottom. He's like, this is the dead pin. You don't plug anything to the dead pin. He started pointing, powers on the top, resets on the bottom, HDDs on the bottom, but you have to flip it upside down because it's reversed. And I was like, what the hell? This is confusing me.
Well, now it's like it's a lot easier. Like most of the time, it's just like a single plug now. Like
they do have
before, that. Yeah, or they make like adapters so you can like put it all in the adapter and then just like plug it on top.
Corsair actually has that. You can actually just grab from and even some of the motherboards. If you purchase a motherboard, it already has the key that you can plug it in, and then it has color coded, so it tells you where to plug the pins into it, so you don't have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah. No, it's so nice. Like I remember before, it's like every single like little pin. You're like, okay, I gotta make sure I didn't mess any of this up. Like that, and like what's actually funny too. Now that you bring that up, the one thing that I used to like freak out about, but I never ended up having problems with it, was static electricity. Like obviously, like it's a thing. You have to be careful with it and stuff like that. But like when you like read stuff online, at first they're like, "You will destroy this computer by simply touching any metal part." Like
you're freaking out.
Metal.
Like, oh my god,
like handling it with like extreme care, going like this. I don't want to mess anything up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially like I was like freaking out too, because I'm like, okay, I spent like all my money on this computer. This is the first one I built was like in like high school. I'm like, I spent all my money I have on this thing. If I damage any of these parts, like
my life is over.
I just remember yeah, exactly.
You're like beating yourself up, like, oh my god, if I ruin this thing, life is over. What I learned, the one important rule that I learned on the assembly line from my old manager was, treat every piece of hardware that you have in your hand with confidence.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be very delicate with it. If you're like for example, like somebody just asked a question about, am I concerned about the CPU installation? I'm not concerned about the PCU installation. But if I had a shaky hand trying to put the CPU in there, yeah, that's a big problem. So every single time that I grab a piece of hardware, I mean, I'm not manhandling it and throwing it around, but I go into it knowing that I'm going to put it in there and everything's going to be perfectly fine. I'm not going to mess this up. This goes in like this. What I do miss is, what was it? They used to make them. Asus used to make these little plastic covers that you'd be able to stick over the CPU, and it made the CPU installation dummy-proof. That you could just literally just drop it and plop it right under the CPU block, and it wouldn't affect anything. But it was like a little outer shell that you would clip onto it, then put the CPU into the motherboard. I haven't seen those in a long time, but I thought it was a really cool idea.
So something that would work well for me is what you're saying.
It's and not in a making fun of anybody way, but it is literally dummy proof. It protects anybody from from having any damage on it. So yeah, it would make it super easy for you to like, hey, I can do this with no problem, and it gives you the little boost of confidence that that you might just need to keep building the system.
Well, it should drop in pretty easy too. There's like that little like notch on the side.
Yes.
You line it up and just.
They're keyed. There's no wrong way. There's no wrong way to put it in. It already has a set key. Like this is how it's gonna go in. It's not gonna go in any other way. And if you do get it in the other way, my question is, how'd you do that?
Yeah, some damage pins at that point.
I've seen some crazy stuff, dude. Like make me scratch my head. Like how in the heck did you do that? But that's for another story. It's another time.
Actually, that's like the reason I've ended up building so many PCs is because there was a few times where I'd tell people like, oh, just like watch like a YouTube tutorial. Like I obviously I don't have the time to do it and stuff anymore. But like before, when I was like after I had built like I had experimented like a lot of PCs. I actually built other people's PCs before I ever had my own and stuff like that. And it was one of those things where it was like the things that I saw that people did, and then they would ask me like, oh, like can you help me put together a parts list? This is just websites that would just tell you everything and stuff like that to put together. Nowadays it's like it's a lot easier, but back then like I'd put them together like a list of stuff, or we'd go to a store and buy it or whatever it was, and I'd tell them to put it together, like they'd be all right. Problem was that like I'd get people like calling me like, oh, and then they'd like break things, then they'd blame me and like all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, after a while I'm like, you know what, just don't worry about it. Like I'll put it together, dude. It's fine. Like I just put it together for free. Like I'm their friend, And I liked it too. I liked building before. It's weird. I actually like loved building computers, and now I don't. I think I just like it. There was like a certain point that I hit. I'm just like, I don't like building them anymore. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I still like from time to time, but now I'm just like, like.
It's not really as enjoyable for most people as it is. Me, I find I love it. I could sit it for what people would think like most people would be like, oh my God, I'd rather be doing something else than sitting at home. I would be perfectly content sitting in my house building these things.
Yeah.
Again, like during the pandemic, at one point when everything was going down, I had to actually stay home for a good week because we wanted to make sure everybody was quarantined properly and stuff like that. So the few people that were here, my previous coworker that worked in the team with me, he would actually bin an entire system that I would have to work on, and then meet me out front, give me the system. I would take it home and I would build the entire thing up in my house. And I was happy with that. I was like, give me 2 or 3 more. It's like, dude, but it's Friday afternoon. I'm like, I don't care.
So what I'm hearing is a live build is not in the future of the cards on your never say never, but it's not in the future at this time on your stream to do a live build.
I think what would be fun would be cool is if we did a whole side by side.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would potentially like it doesn't. I guess never say never. Like I don't mind it if it's like if it was on stream, I feel like it'd be different because like hey, it'd be like fun to do with chat and stuff like that. Yeah.
How about we send him all the hardware for a King George RTS and have him build it live?
If you want the worst cable management you've ever seen, I could do that for you.
I guess, but any one of your fans or subs would be like, "Yo, I got the system that King George built."
Yeah. Yes.
I will tell you, it will function perfectly. You will have no issues with it, but your cable, it will be
questionable.
Ugly if you open the back panel. It will be.
Your cable management will be seriously questionable.
Yes.
It's actually funny that you say that because I came up with an idea just now as you said that. For the future moving forward, anytime we do an RTS build, since you are the one that builds the lucky one of the first wave, you should do something. I don't know what it would be to let people know that you're the one that built this RTS. They got the lucky one built by PJ.
I could if it's approved, I can put my signature on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to step on any toes in that sense, but if anybody's okay with that, 100%. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I put it inside the case. I won't put it outside of it. Let me put my signature right next to his, so everybody knows. And PJ
next to King George.
And PJ.
There you gotta put.
And I'll put it in a. I'll do it in a really frayed Sharpie too. I'll do it in a frayed Sharpie.
X next to it.
Yeah, just put my handprint.
Beetle Bomb said building a PC can be therapeutic and soul crushing at the same time.
When it doesn't power on, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're like, I did all this work for nothing, and then you start scrabbing your brain like, what is it that's causing all this to happen?
Then you go through and check everything.
I've torn systems apart that wouldn't power on. Come to find out that it was just grounding out on one of the posts. Like, are you serious, man? Like,
Polygon Princess, thank you for the tier 1 sub over on Twitch. We appreciate you, the Origin PC family. First build gets a lock of beard hair, PJ. That's what the signature will be, the beard. Yeah, right there.
That's priceless. Priceless right there.
Ow, why did I do that?
I tore a system apart because it wouldn't boot, and all I had to do was clear the CMOs.
See what I mean? Silliest stuff, man. And you're like, what? Are you serious right now?
So I'll never forget this. One time so like the power pin, like on the actual case, I didn't like press it in all the way, and I was like literally tearing apart this whole computer. And I'm like looking through the final part. I'm like, are you serious? I didn't press the power pin in all the way, and like I push it in the rest of the way and put everything back together, and bam, it starts up.
You're just like, wow, really?
It's like, yeah, I wasted like an hour, like looking for like what I did wrong, like double checking everything, and it looked like it was in, but it was just like it needed to go down just a bit more.
These are all really, really good things for me to know for for my next build. I definitely have to upgrade my current PC, as PJ has let me know as well. It's not bad. Like it's not outdated. It can still run most, but it's not above and beyond. But I do have a dual PC setup now, so nice. I'm still learning how to. I was always a one PC guy. Now I'm learning how to do a dual PC setup. It's definitely different.
Yep. Well, like I use all the Elgato stuff. Like their capture cards make it like super foolproof. So yeah. The 4K 60 Pro is easy. Just literally slam it in a PCI slot, plug in an HDMI cable on your out, and that's it.
Ready to rock and roll.
It'll work with OBS. Yeah.
I have an external. My next goal is to get an internal.
Yeah.
One time, new built PC wouldn't start. I dropped a tiny screw under the motherboard, shorted it out, booted fine after I removed it. Wow.
Something as silly as that. Something as silly as that, dude. It drives you bananas. Like, you start banging your head against the wall, and you're like, what is going on? You did everything perfect. And you're going back and you're diagnosing every single thing that you were taught. And the one thing you ultimately forget is it grounding?
Dude, I don't know. Those motherboard screws, too, are like, I don't know what it is. I think they're, like, specifically built to drive you insane. Like, they're so tiny, and, like, they roll, like, perfectly. Like, right underneath the motherboard. They fit that gap so well.
Oh man, I've in the manufacturing floor building, I used to drop screws on the floor, and then we have this enormous gray concrete slab floor in the manufacturing, and you drop a black screw on the floor, and the second you drop it, and you look around, it's like the floor ate it. You don't know where it went.
Yeah, you're like, it's gone.
The worst is if you're on carpet. You're like, what is this? Like, where did it go? Like,
it's just one. It's one with the floor now. It's gone.
Yeah, it's like when you go to do your laundry and your laundry machine ate your sock, and you're like, what the heck? You're missing one sock.
You're not getting it back.
Speaking of, I found out the mystery of that. Not too long ago. My machine, my machine started shaking crazy because I had, like, I guess one side of the washing machine load was on one side or the other, and it stopped. So I couldn't get it back up and running. I guess it missed it. It threw the alignment off of the washing machine. So I started taking the front panel off of the actual washing machine so I can get to like the base of it where it would shake. And as soon as I opened it up, I found 3 socks inside the washing machine down there at the bottom. So it was like when I was picking them up, they were falling in this little tiny hole that was right around the side of the base, and that's where those socks were going. And I was like, oh cool, look, my socks are back. So solve that mystery.
Better than finding money in your pocket.
I would much rather find money in my pocket. Much rather find money in my pocket. There's been dire days like, oh my God, what am I going to do with myself? And then out of nowhere, I go to do laundry and I found like $90. I'm like, oh my God. And then you irresponsibly spend it on like going to buy a game or something.
Yeah.
Or in my case, go buy another car part. We are moving over here, guys.
Let's use this as another opportunity to bring up the landing page for you guys that are just joining in or do not know what's going on. It's in the title. It's in the discussions we are currently having. We are doing a live build for King George's brand new RTS ready to ship limited series. As we mentioned, it ships in 1 to 3 days with free U.S. ground shipping, backed by lifetime 24/7 U.S.-based support. You can see right there on the landing page, King George's wonderful signature is also laser etched on the front glass panel. We had his design coming up as well with all of the specs of the PC that you can see. If you are interested in purchasing one of these, they are now available and you can purchase them through the landing page right there with that beautiful red add to cart. And if you want to customize it fully and you do not like this build, you also can customize a Neuron your way, as you see right there at the bottom. But there is a preview of the system we have right there. There are about, I believe, 10 available currently, so they are limited edition. And you do get to have it fully branded King George with his signature, so feel free to check it out. Now is the amazing time to get this PC and get one in your hands. PJ, how are we doing in terms of a status or where we are at the PC building?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm already just finishing up the wiring right now on the back for the fans. And then once that's done, everything's pretty much cake. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is one of the fastest live builds I've ever done. I'm sorry. We could keep talking if you want.
No, it's you're killing it. It's like absolutely perfect. Better than I could do. I'll tell you that much. Absolutely beautiful.
I have the camera on here? Oh, so it's so far. I mean, I'm not done. Oh, it's over here. There we go. I'm not done, but I already got this side over here finished up and just tidying it up so I can get them all to come parallel with these cables. And then I'm just going to run the power supply cables. These right here for the GPU. Not the GPU, I'm sorry, the dual CPUs. I run these first because once I start putting the fans inside the system, it gets really, really tight to get into this top spot over here where the CPU ports will go. So I break open the power supply cables and I just run those in first. I feed those in and I let them hang out in the back.
That's honestly so smart.
I try to have a procedure, but
I always do them after, and that's probably why, that's part of the reason probably why I have such terrible cable management.
Where did you start first?
I do it last. Like the power supply is the last thing I plug in. I do everything, but the power supply last, and then try to power it on.
I do the power supply last, but I'll run the cables first, and then I'll plug the power supply.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's smart. Yeah. Fully modular power supply.
Yes, sir.
For the CPU, KR, we have an i9 12900K 16 cores. My favorite part of the PC building is that no matter how many times you do it, you always figure out a new shortcut or an aha moment that will make the next build easier.
Absolutely, dude. There's always the I could have done it this way after you finish. That's a really good one. And I do it every time I do a build. As soon as I finish a build and I look back at it, everybody's like, "Whoa, it's awesome!" And I'm appreciative and happy of the build too. But I'm already looking at it like, "Damn, I should have ran it this way. This would have came out better." If I get a chance to do it again, I'm gonna do it this way. And then I do it the other way, and I'm like, "Ha! Oh crap! This was another way I could have done it too." It's just you always find another shortcut somewhere.
Yep. Way to master and improve the process.
Yeah, dude. Pretty much the same way you would go about playing one of your games. When you're playing one of your games, you're like, oh man, I went and I did this and this worked for me, but what if I would have did it this way?
Yep. Welcome to my life. What if I did this differently? What if I did that differently? I think that sounds like everybody's life. That's fair. Yeah. That's a very valid point. I think everyone has those what if moments. I thought my cable management was good, but that is pristine. Shout out PJ. His cable management is PJ says his favorite part of building a PC is the cable management, which usually tends to be people's least favorite part, as King George also mentioned, of building a PC.
That's okay, because if it was your favorite part, I wouldn't have a job.
That's a valid point. It's a very valid point.
It's an art. So and seriously, it is.
Feet reveal when? I don't have any plans, and I don't think anyone here has any plans for a feet reveal. Not at this time. Again, never say never, but it's just not really what I'm thinking at the moment. Did I hear right? It's dual CPU. Did I accidentally say dual? I don't think I said dual. Did I say dual CPU?
No,
I don't think I did.
No, this is not a dual CPU setup. This case would be a lot bigger if it was a dual CPU setup.
Yes. This is an Intel i9 12900K we got in there, Wolf. Oh, my head just got smaller on stream. Where'd I go? Why we're like hippos. we're Hey guys. Oh, we're back. Cool. My favorite, only time I ever tried a build, I had a friend from college help me. I got a tower and we started only to realize the tower was charged or something, but it shorted out. Anything we plugged in scared me of building ever since.
It depends, it also really, it depends on the location and where you live too, because here in Florida, we don't have a lot of dry heat, so we have a lot of humidity. So the static charge that we would get here is not as bad as most people would think. Like if you were living like a dry state like Texas or Arizona, Utah, something like that, where it's very dry, that you can cause static shock pretty much anywhere you go. We don't have that too much here. So I do have like a static charge lotion. So I got tired of using the wristband. That's where the funny the funny little hashtag free PJ came from, because everybody thought that I was chained to the desk. Yeah. Building, so I started using this zero charge hand lotion. So before I even come in here to do a build, I put some on my hands and I don't have any issues with it. But even then, I'm still confident in building the system without it, because like I said, we rarely get any zero charge here at the office. But all the manufacturing guys do, in that case, they're 100% required to do that. So every one of the guys on the floor has a wristband stuck to their arm.
Yeah, I used to. So I think this is news. I don't think PJ even knew this about me. So my first job, I was in college, was first job was at a place called iFix and Repair, where I repaired iPhone screens, internal iPhones, game consoles, worked on PCs. You can check the resume. You can call my old boss.
Hey, you could say you worked there. I worked there too. I can't see you repairing anything.
Listen, to each their own. I did repair things, and people still help me up. Kind of like with you and people asking you to build them a PC or to help for a PC. Every once in a while, I'll get people be like, "Hey, could you repair my phone screen for me?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't have my toolkit anymore, and I don't have any screens on me anymore unless you're trying to buy one off of Amazon. But I could do it. I would say phones are definitely easier than anything else to repair.
I'm pretty sure I could do it if I was shown. I never had the opportunity to do that. But it seems fairly straightforward. Like if your screen's bad, disconnect the screen, put a new screen in. I was always more concerned about dismantling the actual glass or screen itself from the case because maybe if you go a little too hard trying to take it off, you could crack the screen, then you're investing in more money trying to buy another replacement part.
And that happened many times where I would have gone through an hour repair of a screen, put it back together, plug it in, put the cables in, screen doesn't boot, or you can tell that the actual hardware is on, but the monitor is not showing. You go to lift the glass, boom, there goes the entire screen. You're like, all right, well, time to start over again. And then the customer would come and be like, what's going on? You're like, oh, well, I have to do it all again, so please bear with me. And that happens. There's times where, as you know, technology, the parts, they look great, but they're faulty and they don't actually work. So that happened. As much as you don't believe that I actually repaired things and had a screwdriver in my hand at one point. Yes, I did repair technology. Now I'm on the other side of it.
I did repair technology. I'm gonna make a shirt that says that.
Yeah, well, now I'm on the other side of it. Now I work I do my own content, and I work in technology on the marketing side. So not as much hands-on anymore, which is probably a good thing for me. Which is why we leave it to the people like you to do the building, because I'm just not good enough like you are.
I'm not good at it. I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm average.
The Big O. He's not good at it. He just built
average.
a 1-of-1 Big O twice, 2 different times, 2 different Big O's.
I'm okay at it. Just
That is the nicest cable management I've ever seen.
Not good at it. Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Where are you at? There you are. Nope.
My cable management style falls under the category. There appears to have been a struggle, but if it's hard as my 2 360 RADs to water cool my CPU and GPU have 12 fans in total on them, and I have another 6 fans or so on top of that. Listen, I think if I had to give myself a definition for what my cable management it would be, was there even an attempt at cable management, or did you just throw it in there and shut it and just see if it works or not? So
that falls into the category of like bird's nest, maybe.
rat's nest. Rat's nest.
Yes,
that's
rat's
what we call
nest.
it.
Yeah.
So speaking of that funny comment that you just made, this past week when Adam and I were in PAX, I was telling our boss, Origin PC, Kevin, CEO, that we should build a PC and do immaculate cable management on the back, but then put a UV print on the back panel of a rat's nest to make it look like terrible wiring, like UV printed all over the system. So when you see it from far away, you're like, did somebody leave that open? They should close that. That's horrible to look at. I thought it would have been funny.
I think you guys did one. It was like with corn on it, right?
Oh, that was our social media manager, Marcos.
Yeah.
He did that. Him and Alex actually put that together. That was pretty funny.
That was pretty good.
It's like, I like that. It's like, told me we need to do more. We need to do more videos like that. More videos like that that's funny. That's what brings the attention we want. That's good attention to have. The 1 terabyte 870 QVO is going to be installed right now.
Nice. Could successfully fit Call of Duty on there.
Yeah. Exactly. You can fit one whole war zone on that PC.
Yes.
Time Machine with the I Love Corn. Yeah, I love corn, Marcos. That song is stuck in my head now because of. Shout out Alex and Marcos for making the custom corn PC. There it is, bringing it up on stream right now. The custom corn went all out. Put popcorn. Put it on the LCD display.
Should have played a little corn while you were showing corn.
I'm not gonna lie. Where did we get the corn from?
Dude,
someone go to Publix to buy corn?
Yes. Yes, there was corn in the refrigerator today. I was like, Marcos, did you buy corn? He's like, yeah, I forgot to take it out of the refrigerator.
I looked at the video. I was like, did we just have corn laying around at HQ? Like,
I had HR message me and they're like, hey, we have a mystery to solve. So I go in and meet up with HR and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, do you know who left the corn in the refrigerator? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like going and looking in the refrigerator and there's like 20 stalks of corn on the top shelf. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, and then they showed me the video and I was just like, okay,
what do you
corn.
Like about corn?
It's cold.
A nice close-up shot of the corn PC. You guys did not know.
Corn.
I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I find it, it's amazing.
Printed, custom built, like we are doing here today for King George's RTS. We have his custom UV on the back panel with his laser etched signature and his logo on the front. That's also a really good shot of our UV printer in action, which can do it all. And I've seen it do all. Now I've seen it make a corn UV panel, which is definitely a first, I would say. And as Origin PC CEO would say, that's kind of corny. Not taking his thunder, but he said the joke, not me.
Oh, we're all about dad jokes this year, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, Did you have a snack accident, PJ?
I have a snack accident every day, Adam. You seen this belly? Jeez, dude.
So for you guys, if you guys were lucky to go to PAX, PJ and I were lucky to travel to PAX West with Mr. CEO himself. And our first night there, we land in Seattle. We get to the hotel around 11:30. We hadn't eaten because it's about a 6-hour flight for us. We're located in South Florida. So we land, we get to the hotel. We're super hungry. There was like a little it was called an NYC deli, which for me is an insult because I'm from New York myself. And it was not a New York City deli. But besides the point. And we're walking out and we have snacks in our hands. And we're like children, like walking back to our rooms. And a guy, I'm assuming with his friend, his girlfriend, we don't know, looks at us and goes in a very like giggly voice. He goes, "Did you guys have a snack accident?" And we were just, I don't know if it was we were just sleep deprived or we actually thought it was funny, but we walked past the guy.
Oh no, dude! I literally thought it was funny because immediately after he said that, I'm not even joking. Look at my notes.
Please tell me you didn't take it. You didn't write it in your notes.
Whoa. Can't even see it.
Waiting for the camera to.
Where's that focus at?
Yeah, you're really.
All right, anyway. It says snack accident.
Oh, God.
That's all. No. I laughed so hard that I wrote it down. I was like, I don't want to forget that.
A snack accident.
I'm waiting to use that on some of my buddies.
Did you guys have a snack accident? And I got back to my room and I texted my girlfriend. I was like, I just heard the worst but best dad joke of all time, and I will be using this from now on. A snack accident.
Hate me if you want. It's happening.
Yeah.
Can't stop it.
No more snacks for Adam for the week for the bad puns. Hey, it wasn't my pun. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just the messenger. I'm relaying information that was given to me. Mega Galaxy brand, hot glue every component. No one actually do this. Please don't. You know, I could do it. I'll let you know how it goes, but I can do it. I can guarantee you it won't start, but it won't launch. Working on. There we go.
This will go here. Where am I going? This goes here.
So are you? I'm hoping. Are you supposed to be streaming today, or?
Oh yeah, I'll be streaming today. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna say I know we were trying to get this put into your schedule to work around your time frame. So appreciate you making the time to come and join us.
Sure, dude.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
For every snack he has this week, he has to buy the entire team Joe's. Yeah, Evil. The way my bank account is set up, that will not be happening at Joe's Stone Crab. Joe's Stone Crab is like a very famous restaurant here.
He's
in
balling,
Miami,
dude. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
It's pretty much. I think it's open 6 months of the.
This guy lives in Boca Raton, man. You know, everybody's made a money out there. You know what I mean?
I went to school in Boca Raton, but that doesn't mean I live in Boca Raton.
You say Boca, I say money. And that's the first thing that pops in my head.
I'm not there anymore. I'm not there. But Joe's is pretty much like I think it's open 6 or 7 months a year. They're very well known for their stone crabs, which is yes, it's a stone crab restaurant. It is top tier. But yeah, I will not be going to Joe's Stone Crab anytime soon.
Rare special occasions.
Very, very rare special occasions, to say the least.
He's obsessed with corn.
Love corn. It has the juice. You only eat stone crab claws, right? Correct. You eat the claws. They're
You're supposed to peel them?
Yeah, you peel them. They come like
I just ate it. Done.
They kind of like crack them, but you have to it's like Legos, but you like pull the Legos away. I guess is the best way to explain.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't call them Legos. I don't eat my Legos.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't recommend it, but there's a reason why it's on the packaging for the Legos that they say these should not be consumed by children under 3 years old. Or anybody.
But if you're older than that, you can consume it, is what you're saying?
We do not condone eating or stepping on Legos anytime soon.
That's a snacksident.
That's an accident. Well, actually, it's an accident and an accident.
I actually, by the way, like, side note, like, I'm sure you guys probably had Legos and stuff when you were kids too. Maybe you still have them. Hopefully you do.
Technic sets is what I was always obsessed with.
I actually have a couple of those still. If you were actually sent them for one of my P.O. box openings, I have like 2. But I gave one of my cousins all of my Lego sets when I was a kid, and I'm not gonna lie, I regret that so much. I didn't have like a crazy amount, and my parents mostly bought me like Mega Blocks because they were cheaper.
Yeah.
So I had a lot
Fair
of
enough.
those, but like they were like I did have a few Lego sets and stuff like that too, and like I look at them now, I'm like I should have kept those. He actually still has all of his Legos. He kept all of them after all these years when we were kids.
There's a buddy that we work with here. There's a buddy that I have works here that he actually has Lego sets, and he says that that's like the one toys that you can actually buy right now that never loses its value.
No, they don't. Yeah, like his collection is actually worth like because when we were kids they were like cheap, not cheap.
Well,
but,
I
like,
wouldn't say they were cheap. They were still an expensive
still
toy back in the day. They're just even more expensive now.
Yeah, no, but like comparatively, I guess
Oh, for sure. It's like, are you serious? Like, you want me to spend that much money?
I don't think I was ever that big into Legos.
Oh, dude, that's one of the best toys ever, dude. You create it yourself.
I was always on the field. I think that's probably why I'm not a hands-on guy. I was always playing soccer. So that is definitely the bare bone reason why I'm not good with hands-on experience. Aside from working on phones, apparently, which PJ still finds it hard to believe that I repaired.
Polygon Princess got the Mega Blocks too. That's mostly what I got actually was Mega Blocks, but I did have a few. Like I had the castle, Lego castle. I think it's pretty nice.
I used to buy all the Technic sets. When the cool thing about the Technic set is it would tell you like I remember having one that was like a semi, and you build the semi and you're like, cool, I completed the semi after like building it for like 2 weeks, and you have this sense of accomplishment. And then you turn over the page and you think it goes into different languages, but no, it's like take the whole thing apart and now build a dragster out of it. And you're like, what? So then I lived in a 2-story house, and there was a balcony on the 2nd story. That was like where the living room was. So I used to get the semi and I would just drop it off the balcony. Boom, and explode. Now I have a reason to rebuild it. But same question. I was like, I don't know what happened to all my Legos. I wish I knew, because like you, I wish I probably would still have them to this day.
Yep.
They don't go bad. You just buy new kits.
Yeah, my one cousin, he saved everything from when we were kids, like all of his like old toys and stuff. And it's like, believe it or not, a lot of them are actually worth like some good money now. Like he used to like really, really, really take care of his stuff.
Did he keep them in the same kits? Is that why he doesn't have them like mixed up?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, then yeah, for sure, then they're worth the money, dude.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And he's a big Star Wars fan, so whenever for his birthday, he always used to ask for Star Wars Legos specifically.
Millennium Falcon.
Like, I just got like whatever, pretty much when I was a kid, but like he specifically asked, like that's all he wanted. It was like Star Wars Legos, so those are the ones that are actually like probably worth, I would think, the most at this point.
For sure. Even like I said, the new Technic sets that are like they're ridiculous. I would love to buy one of those. They have the like a 1/8 scale versions of like the Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but they want like $400 for a kit.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend $400 on Legos. I could just go buy a model car and just be done with it. If I want the model that bad. And it's already done for me. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was buying cleats for the most part. That's what I was buying. I think every time I got cleats, it was too expensive too. So I think everything was expensive.
Don't get me wrong, Adam. I mean, like I was into techie stuff, but I also I wasn't into like football, basketball, sports like that. I was more into like BMX racing and things. So that was my sport. So I would actually invest in like getting my bike and hanging out with my friends. If we weren't racing our bikes, we were inside the house like trying to kick each other's butt in like Mortal Kombat or something on somebody's gaming console.
No 1v1s on Rust.
What happened?
No 1v1 on MW2 on Rust.
No.
No. That was my battleground. That was my deciding place.
I was playing Joe Montana football, dude. I'm an old man. On the Sega Genesis.
Joe Montana.
Yeah.
He's like, who's Joe Montana?
I know who Joe. I told you I'm a sports guy. You think I don't know who Joe Montana is?
Hey man, I don't know. You
Quarterback.
You are a young buck.
Genesis was honestly a good system too.
Oh, really one of the best. We having Adam. Remember we were having a conversation that was somebody in at PAX that they were saying, you know, like whenever Sega or Nintendo would upgrade something, Sega would just add another pack on top of it, and you ended up with this big fortress of a console. Yeah. You had the Genesis, and then they added the Sega CD, and then the 32X, and then something, and you got this enormous animal just sitting on your desk. Good times, good times. Boop, and poop. This goes this way. And now we screw in the power supply.
Looking beautiful.
Thanks, man. Not as hard as everyone thinks. I tell everybody on the chat, dude, if you guys can build, like we're just talking, if you guys can build Lego sets, if you guys can build a Mr. Potato Head, you can build a computer.
Yeah.
It doesn't take, it's not rocket science to build a computer, but like King George and Adam had mentioned, and I'll even stress it to everybody too, it's where you take it after that. Mm-hmm. If you're just looking to get something thrown together because you want to play and run, cool, you know, that's your prerogative. But then there's most people, like we mentioned earlier, you know, some people invest a lot of money and they want their system to look perfect. And that's where my obsession started getting crazy. Is I started seeing what people were spending their money on, and I was like, I don't want to give them a terrible product. I want to make sure that they get the best product possible. Mm-hmm.
No, this is you can't get anything better than this, I'll tell you that much.
Beautiful case. Will it be able to play 8K video though?
It's a RTX 3080. I don't know how far you can get with 8K video, but I'm pretty sure it'll play some really great video. Mm-hmm. RTX 3080, 12900K, MSI Z690 Pro A Wi-Fi. 32 gigs of memory, Corsair Dominator RGB, running at 5200 megahertz, Samsung 2TB 870 QVO for storage, 1TB OPC approved NVMe M.2, which those are Samsungs as well, just so if you guys are like wondering what the OPC approved drive is. 6 Corsair LL120 fans, Corsair H100i Elite. The Elite AIO cooler comes with the OLED screen on it, which is this guy right here. So, which is pretty cool. If you guys have GIFs or you guys have any animated GIFs, you can put whatever you want on there. When we first got this, we were testing it.
Like corn. Like corn.
Yeah. we were testing it just to see how far we could get and see it. We were putting background scenes from Forza Horizon on the back, just watching the cars go flying on the screen. We put Homer Simpson on it, hiding in the bushes. Like all sorts of different stuff just to see what it would take and like what the limit was. But it takes a bunch of stuff. As long as it really fits in that little file size, you can put whatever you want in there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we had the landing page come up on stream just now, so shout out to Alex. If you guys didn't know, we have Alex behind the camera on production, killing it with all of the transitions and everything you guys are seeing in terms of the production value. Big shout out to Alex, who is putting this together. But we had that landing page come up on stream. If you guys did not know, PJ just ran through the specs. You guys can look at them again for yourself on the landing page, and can also purchase one of these PCs for yourself. King George themed with his custom branding, his signature, all that fun jazz. These are limited edition, so please make sure to run over and get them while supplies last and get your hands on a beautiful PC. PJ, where are we at on status? How are you feeling about the build? I know you were saying this is one of the quicker builds.
Plugging in the power supply, plugging in the GPU, and I'm done. Like I said, one of the faster builds that I've ever done. I mean, the 4000D setup is not a very complicated case to put together. Well, I guess for me, I'm talking more professional experience, but it's not. I mean, it's fairly straightforward. It's when you start adding the, I guess the complicated set would be because of the Corsair IQ fans. You have double cables. So you have to plug in the RGB hub, and then you have to plug it into the actual fan set. So what makes it easier is the H100 Elite cooler comes with this Commander core, and you can plug in the fans and the RGBs to it, so you don't have to have them in two separate places. So I plugged everything into this. This is really cool. This made it a lot more convenient because the idea with the IQ was really cool, but when Corsair first started coming out with it, you actually had two separate pieces. You had one for your RGB hub, which as a matter of fact, I have one right here. So this would be the RGB hub setup, and then some of the cases would have like a 6-pin, like a PWM fan controller here on the set on it. But with this, it just makes it much easier. We just take the controller off and we run everything to this. So all your fans are going to be running through IQ. You can set everything up through there. You can run all the temps. You can set it to extreme. If you want the fans to run faster, you can run them at certain temps. If the system's running at a certain temperature and you want it to cool off at a certain point, you can set all that up. It's like a little one-stop shop. Where is that? Is it here?
4000D is a great case, all around, well-rounded. I have a very similar build in all black, 4000D H100i RM850 power supply.
That's just almost like it's almost like a same spec as this. This was just got a 750.
I need to upgrade my PC, but apparently I'm taking everyone out to Joe Stonecrabs. So does not look like that's in my future. Do we have? Actually, I'm not going to spoil it.
I mean, if you're taking everybody out to Joe Stonecrab, you could just, it's an expense report.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I still have to do my expense report, actually. But
I did that the day we got back, brother.
Yeah, I downloaded the app last night officially, but still have to do that from PAX. Opinions on the Crystal 680X case. I am not familiar with it.
The Crystal 680X case is nice, but I guess it's a more of a personal opinion. It's just too bulky for my liking. Do you remember, Adam, if you go and maybe Google remember the little Big O's that we made? That we had, that we sold them with was either a PS4 on one side and the Xbox? That was that's a Crystal 280X. Imagine that case just... Remember, like imagine a 5000 and a 4000, but the 680X is the bigger version of that small case. It's a cool little case. Yeah, see, it's a cool case, but it's just too bulky for my liking.
You've heard that's the next giveaway.
Who told you that?
Yeah, I don't know where that one came from.
Where do you get these rumors from? I would love to know who your source is. That's hilarious.
Origin PC sponsored Stone Crab dinner. It's what the fans want.
Oh well, no, that's true.
I think it's what the coworkers. I think it's what the coworkers want as well. Stone crab giveaway. Yeah, no, that might not be healthy. That might not be sanitary. I think that might not go so well if we do that.
I mean, if it's out of season, it won't go well. But if it's in season, it'll still work. So what's up?
Great question. What's the benefits of getting a larger case? I'll answer the questions that I can answer so PJ can be impressed that I know some things. I think one of them, PJ, correct me if I'm wrong, one is definitely airflow, better airflow.
I mean, yeah, that could be one thing. I mean, if you're looking for something, no, you're not wrong. I mean, you can get a lot more airflow out of a bigger case, but you can get fantastic airflow out of something like this too. But the difference between having a big case and a small case just all varies down to how much size you want, because if you're looking to have a monster setup, obviously, we could probably cram a 3090 in here, but a 3090 is going to take up so much space, it's just going to look really awkward. So you want to have a bigger case to more comfortable spots. If you're looking for more to add additional space, more drives, things like that, then yeah, you might want to go with a bigger case. If you're looking for more something flashy, then yeah, you want to go with a bigger case. I, on the other hand, like smaller size cases. 4000 is a great size case. Prior to my 4000 setup at home, I had a Corsair 220T. That's even smaller than a 4000, but I was super happy with it. It's a fantastic looking little rig, but I just like some more smaller cases. If I could, I would have the smallest case sitting in my living room. I don't game on a monitor. I have a 4K OLED TV at home, so my PC is hooked up to my actual living room TV. So that's how I game on all my stuff, but it's great. I love it. I think that's why I might need glasses too.
I actually almost turned off my key light. That would have been bad.
I mean, it would have been dark for a second, but you would have been fine.
Yeah. So we got in the chat. 680X is what I use for my last build. There's tons of room for cables, but it encourages lazy cable management. Oh, perfect. Yeah, great. So that seems like the case.
See, he's not wrong.
Like the case I need to buy.
He's not wrong either, because look, when you go into the case, it's got a huge depth like in the main side and here. It's all this stuff like the motherboard and everything on the 280X is more pushed out this side, but then the back side of it is deep inside. So you can actually, like he's saying, you can hide and if somebody just wanted to stuff all the cables in there and close it up, they could. And you couldn't tell unless they opened up the back. But my OCD, when we built them here, I think we still offered them on our website, but even when we built them here, I was like, nope, we can't have any of that. And I'm just start streamlining anything. I can't, man. It's just, I can't. I see cables hanging around everywhere and I cringe.
That's why he cringed at my PC.
Plus, if you use certain motherboards too, they only fit in certain cases. You'll need like a full tower case to fit, like if it's like an ATX E or something like that. That's like another thing.
True. Absolutely. Because then what'll happen is the motherboard will stretch out all the way beyond here, and it's not made for that case.
Yep. I definitely know the thing of like just buy a full tower case and just like throw all the cables in there. That used to be a strategy that I employed a long time ago, but you know, learn over time. Basically, now it's just jam everything in the back. They can't see back there.
Chat, if you really want my honest opinion, send all your pictures of your PCs to Origin PC, and I'll judge your PC for you. I'll be nice. I don't know how I'll be nice.
I'll judge the PC for you.
It's like Marco said, you can just roast them. I'm like, I don't know if people want me to roast their PCs. He's like, but everybody else does it. And I'm like, you got a point there. It's like, there's a lot of popular people who are like, oh, send me pictures of your PCs and I'll judge it. I'm like, oh, these people really want an honest opinion from somebody. All right.
I see Tokyo in the chat. Shout out to Tokyo from my community. What's good, Tokyo? Hello, hello, hello. Do we have to send pics of the cable management though? I think that's.
Oh no, yeah, no. If you're gonna send a picture, I want everything, because the first question I'm gonna
the emphasis.
That's the first question I'm gonna ask. That's the first question I ask when I see pictures on Twitter or Instagram is, what's the back look like? I could care less about the front. Anybody can make the front of the case look fantastic.
Yes.
Anybody. I want to see what the back of the case looks like.
The rat nest. That's where it's hiding.
Rat's nest.
Polygon said, bet, I'll add you. Or
nice.
at you.
Do it. Send them all
Free
to
PJ.
Origin PC.
At free PJ. No, I'm kidding.
That doesn't exist.
It could.
By the way, side note, I'm good. The like little diagonal snips that you have are like the greatest thing for cutting zip ties compared to like scissors.
This little guy here? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. When I did PAX, I was actually lucky enough to actually to do I did cable management live on the Intel stage, and the guy letting me borrow his tools. I was like, damn, I didn't bring my cutters with me. He just opens up his iFixit kit, and this exact cutter popped out, and I was like, dude, I just gave him the smile. I was like, oh, bro, you have no idea how happy you just made me. It's the best tool ever, man. I invested like I think it's like $15, but it's just. And I went and bought an Amazon one that looked just like it, and within 5 seconds, I went and cut a cable, and one of the pieces just popped right off of a zip tie. I was like, "You serious? I've had this thing for 2 years straight. I've nicked it. It's missing that itty bitty point right here at the top, but still cuts like a champ."
I have one as well, but it's an oversized. I got like a Klein Tools one, but it's like
this is a Klein Tools.
Oh, it is too. It's
yes,
a
sir.
Small one then.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Klein makes the best stuff. They really do.
Straight out of Home Depot.
Made in the USA too. So.
Yeah, it's a great setup, man. And I bought them on a whim. I just needed a set, and I stopped at a Home Depot, and I was like, you know what? Let me just get these, and I bought them, and they happen to be just one of my favorite tools.
Yep. Oh yeah, they make.
Sorry about that.
They make great stuff. I have like the 9. I think I have like the 9-inch ones, so they're more like for cutting like nails and stuff. But they work great for zip ties and stuff too.
BRB buying zip ties. Ooh. Everything on my setup, actually, I custom built this desk. Everything is zip tied, but that also sometimes is an issue because when I have to fix one thing, I have to undo everything on some of the zip ties, which sucks. But
that's actually
make it neat.
Yeah, that's actually why I stopped using. So like before, I used to be like, try at least to do like, especially my outside cable management halfway decent. I just let it go now. Like it's all like below my desk and stuff like that. Which, okay, this is the problem. If I was gonna put it in place and it was gonna be there permanently, I'd probably do it. But I'm always changing stuff out. Like whenever Corsair comes out with something new and I'm trying it out or giving feedback or just whatever, trying out new gear, it's like I feel like if I'm like taking out and removing keyboards and like a mouse and like this like wiring multiple times a year, it's like it's a lot to like break down your setup to replace like single cables and rezip tie everything. So I let it go now.
Yeah.
The best thing about it now is since they're putting everything in a Type C connection, you don't really, it probably makes it easier to do that now.
True.
So if you get a new keyboard or something,
true.
it already has a Type C port. You can just unplug it and plug the new one in.
It's very true. Yeah. That is very true. But I end up like doing like monitors and stuff too. Like so I gotta like zip tie all that stuff. And normally that stuff I change out like, it just depends. Like if there's stuff that if I end up getting like a new one from, company sends one or something, then swap it out. So buy the new stuff. Why not? But
Absolutely.
That's normally like at least a few times a year, and it's like completely breaking it down and putting it back together is just like I got so sick of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, last but not least, gentlemen, the MSI Ventus I'm gonna do like Adam. The Ventus 3 times plus.
Oh, here we go. It was one time.
GeForce
It was one.
RTX 3080.
It was one time.
I told him, I bug him because we were the first live stream. I was like, this is the Intel 12900K, blah blah blah. And we get on the stream and he goes, this is 12900K. It's like, no, you're saying it wrong.
You won't let anything go nowadays.
Nope.
I mean, I know this very well.
Hey, my favorite quote from Superbad. People don't forget.
Is that the quote? I thought that
that's it.
Oh, that's the quote?
That's the quote. People don't forget. I would go further into the joke itself to give you more detail, but if you've seen Superbad, you know that scene. That's a funny scene.
I've seen Superbad. When
they're playing soccer.
Yeah. Nah, that makes sense.
That happened 8 years ago. People don't forget.
Yep. Full wireless setup from Logitech. And how has your experience been with that, Turdog? I think we have some cool custom stuff on the boot up, correct, PJ? Am I right there?
We will, yeah. My OLED will light up. We'll put I might ask Alex to do that. Is it possible for you to make our logos GIF in white? Yeah. Because I don't have white. I got every color on the pool in the rainbow except white. That would be cool because I might be able to do the boot up with a white logo, and then when it transitions into the different color, then we can do it in a different color, whichever color. I mean, we do it in blue since it's a King George config. But white would be awesome. You know what we're talking about, King George?
Mm-hmm.
For the LCD cooler.
Yeah, the LCD cooler. We have our Origin logo and a GIF, and it looks like it's just like it's animated. I don't know if Alex is able to put a quick image of it.
Version of
I don't know if you can find a quick image of it or maybe throw it up on the screen so you could see it. But
Christmas stuff.
Yeah, just any color, something that you could just show really quick. But we have that logo, and when he first created that, I immediately went back to him. I was like, hey, can you make this in every color on the palette? And he's like, yeah. So he gave them to me in aqua, green, orange, blue, purple, yellow, red, and it looks super fresh. But the one color I was thinking about, I was like, white with the white doing an animation on that would look sick.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's bringing one up right now. We're trying to find one. one more cable here.
Weird. Did you already peel off? Did you peel off the plastic?
No, that's not for me to peel off. That's for the customer.
I was gonna say that. I hope not. Ah, well, there's the LCD of the corn. Corn. An ASMR PC build. That would be very difficult to do considering.
Not really.
PJ's.
I could be quiet the whole time and do that.
No. I think they meant.
I know what you mean.
Okay. Just making sure. Like I'm talking about like getting close to the mic and like. Okay. Oh.
Like that. I know exactly what ASMR is. I'll build a whole PC and turn all the mics up in here, and all you'll hear is the drill in my hand, just in the zip ties, zip, 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 and the cutting. I'll put the mic up to the cutters when I cut stuff. We're doing it like this.
Some people might like it.
Like.
That could be funny content. Content is content. 2722, thank you for joining us. Have an amazing afternoon and the rest of the day. Thank you for hanging out and spending time with us on the stream today. Don't lie to me. PJ being quiet, don't lie to me.
It can happen sometimes when I want to be.
Don't cut the beard, bro. Oh, no.
Never. Well, I'm not going to say never. Never say never, right?
Never say never. PJ, would you ever do a mineral oil custom build?
I don't know. I've never played with it, so I'm not going to say it's off the table, but I just think it's, call me crazy, but I think it's in my head. I've seen it so many times in my head it's played out. Am I wrong on that? Everybody has a different opinion. And imagine the maintenance on that. Imagine the maintenance.
Yeah.
Let me pull this greasy motherboard back out. I know there's no static on it and it's still going to work, but now I got to wipe the whole thing off to fix it. I would do one and then give it away and never want it back. How about that?
When will you guys have the new Intel CPUs? As soon as they let us know, or as soon as anybody knows when the Intel CPUs are actually coming out. We know it's coming soon, but we do not have any insight personally.
No, your guess is as good as ours, to be honest.
Your guess is as good as ours, Angry Gamers.
Would I want one? Yeah.
I am accepting donations in all sorts. If anyone, I don't think my PC would be able to handle it anyway. We do not have any insight on any upcoming products outside. Like, there's no insight that any of us have. Angry Gamers, we find out the same as the entire world does in terms of new products coming out.
I would say if anybody in our entire office knew what was going on, it's our product development team, and even they have stuff under wraps.
Yeah, and PJ is on a different team. I'm solely on the marketing team, so I don't see those fun numbers and fun stuff.
I don't see fun stuff either.
Hey, no, I see fun stuff. I get to work with people like King George. I work with the influencers. I'm the partnerships coordinator, so I get to work with the fun people, the content creators, the people that make the dream the reality.
All a team effort. All team effort.
Absolutely.
All team effort. Top to bottom.
Absolutely. This goes here. This goes over here. This goes in here. Close this up. Like this. This goes over here. This goes over here.
The good moment.
This gets wrapped up.
There go the zip ties that Beetlebomb seems to be buying.
This goes here.
Drum roll, please.
That goes
Final
there.
touches.
It's looking nice, looking beautiful.
In bulk. Look at the cable management.
Oh, I didn't even know you had a camera there, dude. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we got the multi shots by Alex.
He has two that are oblivious that you can see, and then there's one that's like right in the corner next to his workstation, and I'm like, where did that come from? And then
It doesn't have enough corn. I think it needs more corn. It needs more. It needs more juice. No, I'm kidding. Oh. Oh wait. I thought that. Wait.
Dust filter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dust filter.
I thought that was. I was saying, is that the girl I think it is? But it's
No.
not the girl I think it is. Okay.
Mm.
It is the Corsair grill.
Hey, I do things.
Beautiful.
Move it a little bit towards us.
Now, there they go. I didn't want anybody to freak out because sometimes with the Corsair IQ lighting setup, the fans might not turn on and start lighting up immediately. You would have to go into your IQ settings, and once you download and set IQ up, and then they would light on. But in this case, at first, I was like, oh, they're not going to turn on, and look, they turned on. Hell yeah. Damn, I impressed myself.
Beautiful. It's a lot.
It's alive. It's alive. So, saw a little switch. Did something happen? Are we okay?
No, it does a boot cycle, so it'll turn on, stay on for like 10 seconds, shut off, turn on, shut off, and then it turns on one final time.
Well, now that we have, in the meantime, while PJ is going through the cycle, I'm gonna pan over to the landing page that we have where you can go and, oh wow, look at that overhead. Alex outdoing himself with the different camera angles. PJ with the amazing build, looking super crisp at HQ. PJ dancing behind the camera. We're going to bring it up on screen, the landing page. If you guys do want to check it out, we do have these available to purchase on. Am I doubling? Am I doubling? Is my mic doubling? Oh.
I think you.
Did I double? I think I doubled. My mic might be doubling. I heard something. No, we're good. Okay. You can go ahead and purchase on the landing page. If we can get it pulled up in chat, we do have these on a special edition run, limited edition, coming up on the screen now. It ships in 1 to 3 days with free U.S. ground shipping, backed by 24/7 lifetime support. You can call us at any time and talk to a real human on customer support. One of our favorite things about Origin PC and our family. These are, like I mentioned, limited edition run. You do have the signature on the front glass panel, which is laser etched with King George's logo on there, as well with the back panel of the custom branding that was shown on stream. There are the specs. You can go and pick them up now. They are currently live. Go ahead and purchase them. And if you do want to customize the PC a little bit different, you can hit that customize Neuron button at the bottom. It will not ship as quickly as the RTS, as these are RTS, hence ready to ship. But you could always customize the PC further into your liking. But PJ,
yes, sir.
Do you have any final thoughts? This build went quicker, I know, than you expected. Do you have any final thoughts to share with the stream, with the fans, with King George, with anybody?
Yes. Education is key. Don't do drugs.
Very important message. Not the message
Stay in
I
school.
expected us.
Stay in school.
Not
Get a
message.
job. Build PCs. Do something with your life that makes you happy. And yeah.
Great advice. Killed it. Next
I'm
stream
so
is
good
an
at that.
all-stone crab claw eating contest.
What?
I'll
Hold
never-
on. I'm going to starve myself for a week for that one.
I will never say never, which has been the theme of this stream. However, I don't know whose bank account that one is coming out of, but we will have to try and figure that one out. Stone Crab custom build, please. Seems like people really love the Stone Crab. Hand it over to King George. Do you have any final comments, concerns, questions, corn, stone crabs, anything to bring up?
I think now you got to put a stone crab on the little LCD screen on the
You gotta put it on the LCD cooler.
Just
Yeah,
like a little
got it.
claw.
Hey, if this was your personal PC, I would do that. You would turn it on. You'd see like a little. I put like a little animated crab crawling across the side.
It's like from Finding Nemo. Mine.
Oh yeah, no, I would get like for when we do influencer builds, I try to put as many additional GIFs on the OLED, so you have the option to change them out as any way, however you want. But I think in this one here, if it's blue, I think that I might want to see if we can get that that custom GIF out in manufacturing, so they can add the blue one to the OLED screens on these. I think it'll be cool. It's just a perfect match.
No, it'd be really nice. Yeah, but no. Thank you guys so much for having me on, for building that PC and the other ones, and just for making this all happen and putting it together, and for just being an awesome company to work with, and making just a great product. There's makes it easy.
We appreciate you too,
Everyone
man.
can see the quality.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thanks.
We appreciate you having you as a partner and all the things that you do for us. Believe we got what's everyone's Twitter in the chat. I think it's at King George. You can find yourself on all socials. That's additionally on Twitch as well. King George. Everything at King George if you want to find him. For myself, I don't usually promote my own stuff on the Origin PC channel, but I'll just say this in chat. If you do want to, that's me. I'm not going to say it. But that is my Twitch over there. And all this it's similar as well on Twitter. PJ, do you have any socials that you want to mention?
My PJ builds with a Z PCs. And I'm solely on Instagram. That's where all my projects and builds go on.
And he does have a lot of really cool custom builds that he does. But special thanks to everyone. Special thanks to Alex behind the camera for his amazing work. We're going to head and close it out there. Went quicker than we expected, but quick is good. And PJ, when he does his builds quickly, he still does them effectively and professionally. So big shout out to PJ building the PC. Big shout out to King George for taking the time to join us today on our stream. Happy Tuesday, guys. Make sure you have a great rest of the day. Tomorrow is Wednesday, hump day. We're almost to the weekend, almost, kind of, not really. We had an amazing stream. Thank you guys for taking the time to join us. If you're from the Origin PC family, from King George's family, from Corsair's family, thank you guys. We will see you guys on the next live stream. Have a good one. We'll
Peace,
see you guys
everybody.
next time.
Hold on.